Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of the Sugarfreed Method Testimony Tuesday video series. I am so excited to introduce to you today someone that I know personally. So, she is a writer and a speaker, and we have connected many times in person through writing and speaking conferences. And I am just so excited for you to hear her story today because she has been through a journey in this past year, and I know it's going to be so inspiring for you. So please welcome Dr. Mel Tavares. I'm so excited to have you here today. Dr. Mel, will you share with the viewers why you are showing up on my health and wellness channel today? You could just start sharing your health journey with us.
I'll say that I have been in your Facebook group and around your sugar-free lifestyle for a couple of years at least,
Yes.
but I'll say 1 foot in and 1 foot out and deceived myself into thinking that I was quite healthy, but I was not. And June 9th, I had a massive heart attack and a subsequent quadruple bypass, and at the same time was diagnosed with diabetes. And I was like,
Oh,
what?
wow.
Put on a whole bunch of medications. I'd never been on meds. And now I have had to, over the last several months, begin to turn that ship and really do a radical 180, not a 360, right? 360 is like putting us right back in the same spot.
Right.
A 180 and say, okay, there's so much to learn. One thing counteracts another thing. And so I have had to say, okay, I deceived myself. I
Mm.
was not healthy, but I am going to become healthy. And I have been on a journey since. Yeah.
June. I can't believe it's just been June. It
12 weeks.
really,
You can see there's a little scar there.
yeah.
It goes all the way
Hmm.
down the lovely chest. But
Yes.
yeah,
I know that
12 weeks.
I've been praying for you all along. It seems like it's been longer than that, but then it also seems like it hasn't been that long. But you
Yeah.
have made some amazing progress and amazing transformation in a very short period of time, which is was very noticeable to me, and which is why when we saw each other in person in August, I invited you to come on and share. So tell us why you think that you were diagnosed with the type 2 diabetes and the heart disease and everything all at the same time. What in hindsight now, you said you were deceiving yourself. In hindsight now, what did you learn that would help other people raise the awareness for them?
I learned that I probably should have gone to a doctor. I
Yes.
probably should have had those labs done and had the numbers checked.
Mm,
I probably would have known. And I will say this, they did say that it's another aspect of life, but they felt very strongly that my cortisol levels was driving a lot of the heart situation, and that the stress was the culprit, the reason why I had it, and the
mm.
reason for the narrowing of the arteries, which were really barely over the allowable limit of 65%. They don't do anything.
Okay.
66%, they're going to stent or do whatever, but they said, you are a strong, healthy person. Clearly, I did not feel that way at that moment in time. But they said, we'll do the bypass because then you will be set for the rest of your life. This is good for 30 years. You don't have to worry. I hear conflicting reports. I'm believing the report of the Lord,
Yes.
but that if I had at least known what my sugar numbers were, what my cholesterol was, all the panel, the metabolics, all of the what is your vitamin B, what is your niacin, what is your magnesium level, your
Yes.
potassium, all that, I would have done things very differently.
Mm.
Should have had the labs done. I should have just kept up with the routine things, and I did not. And I
Yeah.
paid a price, and now I'm
Right.
having to reverse things.
Yeah, and work hard at it. But
Very hard.
a lot of women find themselves in that situation. Because we're so busy taking care of everybody else, we often neglect our own health care. And when I have the opportunity to coach women, the women typically come to me because they've been stuck in a cycle of yo-yo dieting, like weight gain, a little lose weight and then gain more, lose and gain. It's very frustrating. And so I have the opportunity to bring them when I bring them in to say, hey, what is your HbA1c? What is your fasting blood sugar? What is your fasting insulin? All of these things that work together that drive, if you're eating a diet high in carbohydrates or high in sugar, it's driving disease, it's driving that heart disease, the pre-diabetes, the type 2 diabetes, all of that. So, women, give yourself a break and take Dr. Mel's advice. If you are neglecting your own health care, schedule that annual checkup with your doctor. And blood markers are so important. They really can tell a story. So please do that. All right, so let me shift to, I want to talk about the five pillars of the way that we do things here in the Sugar-Free method, because I know that you have some insight and we'll probably spend a lot of time on the feelings aspect, but just tell us real quickly, the first pillar is food. How did you approach any changes in the food that you were eating? I always say that food is fuel, and also we want to eliminate a diet high in carbohydrates as much as possible to help our bodies begin to heal. So, what did that look like for you?
What it looked like is because I've been around the sugar-free lifestyle for a couple of years, I really was not eating what I will call sugar.
Yeah.
I was very conscious about not having my beloved desserts, for example.
Yes.
What I did not do correctly is those carbs that translate to sugar. Love my pasta and those sorts of things. And that was also my comfort food. And because I had a knee injury 18 months prior and was unable to do a whole lot, I depended on other people to cook for me. I depended on Fast and Easy in the kitchen. I depended on a lot of things, and I, quite frankly, was not in a good space in life. And
Mhm.
I liked my pasta and my comfort foods and the breads, all the things that translate to sugar. So while I cut out the obvious, I did not
Yes.
cut out the ones that we might forget translate to sugar.
Yes. As soon as those starchy carbs, the bread, potato, the pasta, the processed foods, the ultra processed foods, as soon as they hit our digestive tract, the enzymes break them down into sugar immediately. Yes. And a lot of people don't know that. In fact, that was me as well. I quit sugar, the white stuff, for about 10 months. I was not craving the white stuff, the sweet stuff, but I only lost about 18 pounds in 10 months and I was super frustrated. And once I learned the same thing that you learned about the bread, potato, pasta, that was the last day I ate those things. And that's really when my weight loss magic started. So you are absolutely right. And I know I saw you dabbling around with low carb ideas over the past couple of years. So I know you were moving in that direction as well, too. So once you had to do that, you were familiar with it and you were like, okay, I got to do this for my health. Okay,
Yeah, it
so
was interesting
yeah.
that even in the hospital, while they're shooting me up full of insulin and telling me I'm diabetic and yelling at me, they were bringing trays, no joke. They were bringing trays of carbs. Like I would order something to eat, like a chicken breast and maybe some spinach or whatever. And this crazy tray would arrive in my room like 3 times a day that would have up to 60 to 100 carbs on it per meal.
Yes.
And then
Yes.
like, here, we'll just give you some more insulin. You'll be fine. And
No. Oh,
it,
good.
it
I'm
for
glad you had that knowledge so that you were prepared and you could
yes.
start right away, even from being in the hospital. All
Well,
right, another part of our lifestyle is fasting. And I don't mean fasting for 5 days. I'm talking about time restricted eating is what I really coach. That's my biggest philosophy. Basically, we need to stop eating all day around the clock. Did you start implementing any time restricted eating into your lifestyle? And do you feel it that helped if you did?
I do about 17/7. I would like to say 18/6, but depending on what my hubby's work schedule is, sometimes he comes home a little bit later. So I have found what's helping. I'm not proud of it, but the medications that they've put me on, and I'm not yet off all of them, reduced but not off, they make me so sick in the morning. So I can't even think about eating. So I eat something around 11 and then I'll eat dinner later. But sometimes dinner goes a little later. But yeah, 17,
Yeah.
it seems to be stabilizing. pretty well.
Is that a new routine for you?
I did it last year, but not consistently. Now
Okay.
it's consistent, and I think the
Yeah.
consistency is what makes the difference.
Yes, yeah. It's a beautiful way to live. It gives your body a chance to digest. You learn how to eat food that is just satiating, so you're not eating and snacking all day long. So I know that helps so many people too. All right.
It's a shift in
Yeah,
the mindset
yeah,
too of I don't need 3 meals a day because I don't have time to eat 3 meals, nor am I hungry. And that,
right.
so being consistent about the cutoff in the nighttime, evening hours, because a lot of times it was like 9 at night. Now I'm like, I need meal number three. Pre-heart attack, not now. Now I'm like,
Yes.
no, I'm done.
Yeah. Yes, I always say that everything in moderation and eat 5 to 6 meals a day was the worst dietary advice that set me up for repeated 30 years of living in a diet yo-yo cycle. So it was so good to break free from that. All right, my third pillar is feelings. I'm going to skip that right now. We're going to go to fitness and we're going to come back to feelings because I know based on your experience and how you encourage women, we're going to come back to the whole emotional and mental health aspect of this in a minute. But did you establish any kind of fitness routine to keep your body moving? I'm not a huge fitness guru or I'm not an exercise person that's like constantly blowing my whistle at my coaching clients, but do you feel like you have established something different in your lifestyle now since your health issue?
Yeah, can I want to say that I have learned, and this is a hard thing. I've always been an active person, but I am in the middle of cardiac rehab right now, and then I have to do my own at home. So I've got 5, 6 days a week that I'm working out an hour to 2 hours a day. What I
Wow.
learned was that my blood sugar will, the needle will not move down, and fitness is not happening if I'm active but not exercising. That if
Mm,
I don't hit the aerobic level of the heart rate, it is
hmm
not strengthening my heart, it is not dropping my blood sugar, it is not doing any of the things that I thought I was accomplishing by going out for a walk after meals. But I
hmm
wasn't walking fast enough. It wasn't doing the trick. I wasn't consistently, I wasn't sedentary all the time. Get up from your desk, go do your things,
Right.
but it wasn't enough.
Yeah.
I deceived or lack of knowledge, right? People
Mhm.
perish for a lack of knowledge, literally, in my case, almost. I thought I was active, and active translated to fitness, but it is not
Mhm.
true. So I am now having to be very purposeful days a week, 6 days a week, and engage in fitness activities.
Yeah. So you mentioned cardiac rehab, and the last pillar of the sugar-free method is fellowship. Do you feel like you have fellowship with a bunch of people right now that are pursuing the same type of health? Are you interacting with people there, or do you have a group of friends that are supporting you through this? How are you doing this in fellowship?
No, I don't think so at cardiac rehab. And I'll tell you why.
Okay,
And it's a
yes.
struggle when I walk in because I'm 20 years younger than everyone else in the class.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, why am I here? Why am I?
Mhm.
And then you can hear them calling out their numbers, how fast they're walking on the treadmill, grade they're at. And I'm like, I'm not fit at all. These
Mhm.
older guys and ladies are way ahead of me. And I have to
What?
just, so not there, but I do have a huge community of people that really are very supportive. My
Yeah.
Facebook friends, that they're friends in real life, but I also stay in touch on Facebook, you and I, others that are very much encouraging me. So I also belong to First Place for Health, which is a Christian weight loss group, but more than that, it's digging into the Word of God and really keeping our focus where it needs to be, which is not on food. And in there, we have the accountability group also. So that's a year round, except for when we take breaks. So yeah, I've
Yeah.
got fellowship, but not in the cardiac rehab unit.
Oh, at least you have fellowship with other Christian women, which is amazing. I know I'm going to be presenting a workshop with First Place for Health soon, so I'm looking forward to doing that. So that'll be
Great.
great. So you can see me there, but that brings me to the question of, is there a scripture that you're leaning on that you can share that would encourage others?
The first one that came to mind, even as I became aware of my surroundings, having had the heart attack, was Psalm 118:7. You know, where it says, "You shall not die, but you will live to tell
Mm.
the goodness of the Lord." And that just settled in my spirit. There was a miraculous recovery with no muscle damage to my heart. It's just incredible what God did. But that
Wow.
every time fear started to creep in, and then I heard you're going to need quadruple bypass. And I was like, what? And then Psalm 118:7, you shall not die. You shall
Mhm.
not die, but you will live. Why? To
Yeah.
tell the goodness of the Lord. And so I'm like, okay,
Oh, I love that. That's a good one. It makes me think of one of my favorite verses in Psalm 27:13 that says, I am confident of this. I will see the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living. Yes, I love that. That's so
yeah,
good. Awesome. Did David write Psalm 118 did he write that?
I
Let's look
don't
it up.
know.
I got
I
my
should
Bible.
know.
I got my Bible. I have my
I don't
Bible
know. I
right
don't know.
here, but I just love. No, he did not. Oh, wait, hold on one second. No, it doesn't say who the author is of Psalm 118, but it certainly sounds like something David would write because he did write Psalm 27.
That's right.
Yeah. All right, let's spend our last few minutes together. I'm seeing the book above your head that says 21 Days to Improve Mental Well-Being. And I know that is so much of your experience and your education. You are love to help women and encourage women with our mental health, our emotions, our thoughts from a biblical perspective. The one of the pillars of the sugar-free method is feelings. And I always warn my coaching clients that this is going to be the most difficult part of your journey. So, how could you encourage and what experience did you glean even through this health crisis that you had?
I've had to go back and look at my own book
Yeah.
and follow through. And there's a journal that goes with it. And I've used it this summer. I've had
Wow.
to because we're not exempt just because we're the coaches or the teachers,
Hmm.
35 years as a mental health counselor and coach. And still, I've had to coach myself and pull on the strength of other mental health professionals to help get me through acknowledging that I failed in some ways. There's a reality of confessing, right? And repenting
Hmm.
before the Lord. Like, I know there were some things that I did wrong. As it was happening, I was aware. If you're stuffing your face with wrong things, I'm aware. So,
Right.
repenting for that concept that I was not treating my body as the temple and having to, and therefore putting myself in jeopardy of not being able to continue serving him. But there's a lot more than that. It's okay. Something as simple as getting outside that shifts us, right? I can sit inside, but if I go outside into nature, that is such a mind shift. It's a mood shift. And not for nothing, but if we're outside, we're not inside near the kitchen or the pantry.
Right.
And so there's that, just being outside in nature and being able to make sure that I'm doing things like getting enough sleep. All of
Mm.
those things have boosted my mood. And then to keep my focus right on the Lord where it belongs. Of He's my strength. I can't do this. Acknowledging things like I'm
Mm.
angry at myself, I'm
Mm.
angry at the situation, I'm angry at the medical teams, all the stuff. Like, why are you putting carbs on my hospital tray when you just diagnosed me with that kind of thing?
Yes.
And then realizing I need to take control of my thoughts. I've
Hmm.
played a whole lot of worship music in the last few months. I was playing it for hours this morning as I've been at my desk working. And, and why did I turn that on this morning? Because I could feel the depression trying to creep in and anxiety, all of the things. 80% of heart patients have to deal with those things. And all the medications have side effects and they're all messing us up.
Yeah.
So I have had to work hard at the mental health game to stay boosted and to realize like God has a plan. He didn't change his plan for my life and why he created me. There are things that I need to do to push forward. There's a lot of work that he's put ahead of me. I have a new book that just came out that isn't even launched yet. It's
Yeah.
published, but that kind of got circumvented. And so it's okay. It's
Yeah.
okay. And I have to just keep my head in the game, keep my feelings in check, and I mentioned earlier about the cortisol, the stress level. That's why the need to go outside, go for walks, be in
Yes.
nature, turn the music on, because I have to keep that cortisol level low, or the cortisol will not only increase cholesterol, but it will increase my blood sugar. It's not good
Yes.
for me. And
Yeah.
so I'm learning. It's a journey. It's a journey.
Yes, for sure. And the cortisol thing is really relevant to my life right now because I've had a very difficult 2025 and I'm actually working with a functional medicine practitioner to determine what my cortisol levels are and to help. I'm trying to put all the healthy habits in place, like good sleep and no screens after 8 p.m. and just worship music and walks and exercise and all the things. So whew, and God is good. I just like you, I would not, He is my strength. I would not be standing right now if it wasn't for the Lord. His salvation and His word is something I stand on every single day.
Right.
Before we wrap up, tell us a little bit more about how someone could use your 21 days to improve mental well-being, that little book that's sitting behind you above your head.
Let's see. So here it is.
Okay.
So it was written because they used to tell us 21 days to create a habit. I disagree.
Yes. Yeah.
21 days to begin a habit. Wouldn't it be great
Yes.
if we only had 3 weeks, Christy? We could just be
Woo.
off sugar for 3 weeks and there our lives are perfect. We
Yes.
could do the right things for 3 weeks and all of our extra weight would fall off. No,
Yes.
so 21 days to begin a new habit, to really take a look at what things are causing the emotional and mental distress in our lives and what specific steps can we take to rectify that, like we talked about going outside, turning on music. There's a
Mhm.
lot of things in here about how to find rest, how to seek, how to forgive people if that's what's causing some of the issues. So person can do that, and the journal that goes with it, and just work your way through and then go back through it if you have to. But it's a beginning point of saying, if we implement just a few nuggets of change for our emotional and mental well-being, then we will see a radical difference, and that will translate to better spiritual walk, better
Yeah.
physical well-being.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's amazing. I always say that small habits build and deliver big results. And so I love that you said it's the beginning. The 21 days is the beginning. And that's why my group coaching program is 90 days because there's no way we can do this complete habit changes in 21 days. And tell me if I'm wrong, but psychologists do what I have read and what I've researched is that psychologists say that 90 days is a good time frame for a lifestyle change to start sticking. Do you
Right.
agree with that? Yeah.
I agree completely.
Yeah.
And isn't it
Okay.
interesting that I'm around the 90-day mark with my new lifestyle journey?
Yeah.
And
Awesome. Yes.
yeah, yeah. And
Amazing.
now it feels, right? We're talking feelings. It feels like it's not as hard as it was. It's
Yeah.
some things are becoming routine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I call it autopilot. Like when I
Right.
am having a distressing day because of family circumstances, I still eat healthy because I've got those habits are entrenched. They're on autopilot. So I'm able to stay on track to the best of my ability. Is it perfection? No, it's never perfection. Sometimes I'm snacking on my dehydrated cheese snacks in the evening that I make in the microwave. They're all low carb, but I don't like to snack in the evening. So I can identify that is something I'm trying to cope with something internally by having to sit on the couch and snack in the evening, which is not what I like to do. So, yes, again, not perfection, but every day when we show up, we can make progress. And so I'm so happy for you because you look so much healthier. Not that I noticed that you looked unhealthy before, but because I know what happened to you and I'm seeing this transformation right before my eyes, it just seems like an extra joy is radiating off of you as well too.
Right.
Thank you so much for sharing your story with everybody in my community. Before we wrap up, how can people get in touch with you?
The easiest way to find everything, the resources, the books, the email address, everything, go to my website, drmeltavares.com, DRMELTAVARES.com.
.com. Awesome. And I will put that in the show notes too, so people can find it underneath the YouTube video. You'll find it in the description, my friends. All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Mel. Until we meet again in person, I will see you over on social media land. All
Great.
right. Okay.
Thank
Thanks for
you.
watching, everybody. Bye for now.